Hey guys, we're back again. This time we're doing an episode of Vainglory News, going over a bunch of new content, which is the brand new hero Silvernail. We also have a brand new skin, which will be really fun to go over. And then we also do have some news on Ozo here, which will be interesting because I'm not sure why they keep teasing him as a brand new hero, because we all know he's not a new hero. So I think there's some underlying reason behind that, and I think that is that there's going to be some major changes coming to Ozo in the near future, which we'll get into in a little second. But first of all, we do have the brand new hero Silvernail. So we have his first ability here where he launches these bolts into the sky. They drop down, creating a radial, and if you connect any of those radials with another bolt, it'll actually connect them, creating an electrified line. So what I think is going to happen here is that Silvernail will be a marksman for the most part, and what's going to happen is during team fights, you're going to go ahead and place these traps right in front of you so that when you're backlining during that fight, people can't dive you anymore like they normally do carries. So like for instance, if there's an alpha in the enemy team or a black feather in the enemy team, what happens generally, what transpires is that the fight starts, the carry, Silvernail, will be in the back line firing in, and they're going to go ahead and dive you and try to eliminate you as soon as possible because you're generally squishy. But with Silvernail, he has these traps to go ahead and stop that from happening. In fact, he can lay down 2 of those lines back to back right in front of him to guarantee that they have to go around to even try to get you. Or maybe you can kind of block yourself in some fashion to where no matter what direction they're coming from, they can't get to you unless it's like directly right behind you or something like that. It'll be interesting to see how they actually play this in matches here. But I also feel like he'd be really good during a team fight, not just for self-peel, but also for that really annoying CC during that fight itself. So for instance, there's a point at which he has the 3 bolts which aren't connected, and then he places a 4th bolt in the video and it connects them into this Y formation. And I think if you actually do that in the middle of a team fight, the enemies will be so annoyed by that because they're going to be constantly having to maneuver around it or just take the stuns. It's going to be really, really stupidly good. So I don't know. That's what I think is going to happen with this ability. Also, you can use it to chase too. Like if you're chasing an enemy, you can kind of like place it right in front of them so they can't escape. Or you know, you have to basically cause them to move in a certain direction in your favor because you're blocking off a certain location. So now they have to go right straight to your ally, you know, on the other side. You can use this in a lot of facets, which would be really interesting to see people actually do some crazy things with Silvernail with its ability. But yeah, so I assume it's going to be a stun. That's pretty much what I get out of this, is I think it's going to be a stun to some degree. But anyways, moving on to the second ability here, we do have it says bombs away is what the caption was. So I think we see 2 things here. We see his passive and we also see the ability itself. So the passive, I feel like, is where he attacks, and after X amount of shots he does a 3 burst shot. Yeah, I think it's 3, right? Yeah, 3 burst shot. So I think that's the passive. So like you do the single shot, and after X amount of landed hits, you do a 3 burst shot on that target. The ability is where he actually lobs the little grenade he has there, or vial, whatever it may be. And so I think that's also going to be a snare. I think that or a poison. Poison would be interesting too. So maybe to actually snare any targets within the explosion range, and also do damage over time. Who knows? Or maybe it marks the target. I'm not sure. Maybe that's how you mark a target, and that's required to actually do certain things with certain abilities. It's kind of hard to decipher exactly what it does because there's no information as far as just the visual information, and that's it. So I don't know. What do you guys think this ability does as far as the lobbing of the vial? Do you think it does anything in particular, or do you think it's just maybe a snare and damage over time, or just damage outright? I don't know. But what do you guys think about this one? That's as far as I can go with this one because it's not a lot of information. Moving on to the last ability here. So this one, it says, it must be nighttime because the stars are out. Some of these captions that they give them are pretty cringy. But anyways, so as we can see here, he basically propels this giant bolt towards an enemy and pushes them back. So he has some sort of displacement. And it actually pushes him back a little bit too. What would have been cool is if it actually launched him backwards a bit more, so you can use that to maneuver around walls and such. So like imagine if you can actually use this ability and launch your enemy backwards, but then it pushes you backwards over a wall. That'd be cool. But I don't know if that's going to be possible with the short distance he gets. It's not very far. But like I said, so I think I mentioned in the beginning where like this first ability, which is the electrified line, can be played in a fashion with this ability where, as you can see, you can knock people into your actual line, cause them to be stunned. So that's really interesting too. Oh, dude, I think the knockback, because you can see on Churn, he starts to have that icy pool beneath him, meaning he was being slown. I don't know if that's off of, no, that's actually, so I think, okay. So now that I see this, so I think actually the line itself snares only. I think it only snares. And then if you knock somebody into it, then it stuns. It acts as if it's a wall. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to decipher exactly what it means. Maybe it's still a stun, the first ability. But as far as what I see, it definitely provides, or it definitely inflicts some sort of snare, a slowing effect, because that pool is beneath Churn at that moment in time as soon as he meets contact to the actual electrified line. But anyways, there you go. So there are the abilities of the Silvernail, new hero coming in 3.6. Super excited. I'm not sure if he's going to be played as an ADC through and through. I feel like he's going to be an ADC. That's what I feel like he's going to be. But I also feel like there is some room for him to become a captain or maybe a top lane sub-captain. I just have to see the details more about the abilities and see how they actually function to make my final say on that. But as far as what I see now, I think he's just an ADC with no mobility, but a lot of CC, a lot of self-peel. He has an electrified line, which snares, maybe stuns, and then he also has a knockback, which can knock people into walls, causing the stun too. Because the first one where he hits Cruel, he knocks them into a wall and they got stunned. So it's kind of like Vayne from League of Legends, right? Where she has that knockback, and if it goes into a wall, they get stunned. I think it's kind of like that. But yeah, so if I had to do any kind of comparison, it's probably Irelia mixed with Vayne. That's what I see here as far as abilities. But there we go. So there is Silvernail. Hopefully you guys are excited for him like I am. I really want to see how he plays through and through and see if I can actually start maining him, because he seems like a really interesting character. But moving on, we do have a brand new skin here for Catherine, known as Summer Party Catherine. This one is actually pretty cool. I actually really want to use this because I actually do a lot of top lane Catherine. I don't know if you guys actually noticed, but I do quite a bit in my videos or just on stream. It's just one of those things that I tend to use a lot because Captain Top Lane has been a popular pick here for meta in the high tier. But here we are. So we have quite the image here to kind of look over. So the only thing that was changed here, because like when they first teased these skins, it was originally red. This was a red swimsuit. It was a, it was one of those, those Baywatch. It looked like Baywatch basically. But they changed it to blue, I think, for like copyright infringement type things, maybe potentially. They want to avoid the legal issues, so they made it blue. Which I still like the red. But hey, that is what it is. So it's a blue now. But it still looks pretty cool. I want to see what the in-game looks like, though. I'm not sure how it's going to actually look. But this image is quite the image. Oh, God. Anyways, moving on. So now we finally have the news on Ozo. So the thing about Ozo is that they actually teased Ozo to a degree. They're basically giving us the trailer, the hero spotlight of Ozo when he was brand new. And so it's the same hero spotlight from like 2 years ago. And they're saying, it's the brand new hero. Are you guys excited? Or something like that. And I'm like, what? Like, Ozo isn't new? Like, what is this nonsense? Like, did someone make a mistake? Is someone gonna get fired? As my friends politely put it in Discord. But yeah, so what I think it's going to be is it's going to be the first hype over a major change coming to Ozo. They referenced the Hero Spotlight to kind of, you know, reference the old Ozo, but they said the new hero is coming. And I think they're just doing like the old Spotlight to kind of give you the idea that there's going to be some major changes to his kit coming. Because why else would they show that Hero Spotlight? Why else would they show how to play the current Ozo and say the new Ozo is coming, you know, new hero Ozo? I think there's going to be a rework. That's pretty much what I'm trying to get at. So I think that the not the three-ring circus, but the bouncy fun, whatever it's called, I'm trying to remember the name of the ability where he bounces from 1, 2, and 3, and then, you know, it does the splash damage. But anyways, his B ability, I think that's going to change drastically, because I just feel like it's not viable in today's meta and in today's type of hero that they keep releasing. It's like, it's just, this game is starting to cater to a lot of CC, a lot of displacement, and a lot of burst damage, and that ability itself takes way too long to actually take place, and it causes a lot of delay, and that delay for Ozo is, you know, it's huge as far as his lack of usefulness. Like it's a huge contribution to that. So I think that weapon power is fine. Weapon power still does quite okay as far as a hero, you know, goes, but CP definitely needs a rework as far as how it actually pans out. They might just do a full rework and just completely redo his kit. I don't know. Maybe he'll get like some kind of, you know, the traditional stealth type mechanic that a Monkey King type theme would get. A lot of times they have clones, a lot of times they have stealth, and a lot of times they have like an ability where like they spin around. And I'm not trying to say that they should cater to like the general like theme of the Monkey King, but I think that that general theme is there for a reason, because that's what he does as far as the lore goes. And so, I mean, I'm not sure for 100%, but I think that the rework is going to be interesting if it actually takes place. Maybe it's not even a rework. Maybe it's just something that they're just being silly with and trying to be trolly. I don't know. But anyways, there you go. There is the news. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Again, we went over Silvernail and all his abilities. We also went over the Catherine skin real quick, which will be really fun because I play Catherine quite a bit right now, and I definitely like staring at, I definitely like playing her in top lane. And then also we had the Ozo news that kind of got dropped, and we're still trying to figure out what it means, but I think it ultimately means a rework. I think other people are starting to come to the same conclusion. But anyways, there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time. Later!